and Joey, best friends forever. They like music, movies, TV, theater, pop culture, and whatever. When they get together, they're like totally elated, cause they're motherfucking only slightly opinionated.
Yeah, they're motherfucking only slightly opinionated.
Yeah, they're motherfucking only slightly opinionated. Yeah, they're motherfucking only slightly opinionated.
Hello, and welcome to Only Slightly Opinionated. I'm Jamie.
And I'm Joey. And if this is their first time listening to us, we are two best friends who live very far apart. And every couple of weeks we get together and we shoot the shit and talk about all the shit we watch on TV and the things we eat and boring other stuff that you love. Hi, Jamie.
Boy, that intro's it's interesting. It's a little different each week, isn't it?
I like to mix it up.
Yet.
I like to keep the people guessing.
Isn't it? It's different. Say it. Hi.
It is a little. Hi,
How
what
are
you been doing?
Sorry if I'm not. Well, I'm going to get into that, I guess, because I was going to say I'm sorry if I'm not my usual energetic self, but I have started rehearsals for the show that I'm in, and it's been 2 fucking dance rehearsals in a row. Basically, we had Friday off. It was Thursday and this morning.
That's your hard, ain't it?
I can't go on. It's not. I used to be able to dance. I used to like to dance. I mean, I did community theater productions of like A Chorus Line and you know, Anything Goes, big dance shows. But something has gone. Besides the fact that I'm out of shape and older, my brain does not comprehend the steps the same way that it used to. I can't pick them up. I can't even understand them a lot of the times. Like I just end up moving my feet because I'm not doing the step, ball change, step. You know what I mean? Like I can't. Yeah. I can't. I just can't get it. Now it's only the second rehearsal, and I'm sure I will get better than I was the last 2 days.
Yeah, of course you will.
But it's
it's hard from my perspective because you know that I'm a classically untrained dancer.
Oh, I've seen you dance. Don't worry. We don't need to. So, I wasn't going to bring it up.
I can sympathize because I would be well and truly fucked if I tried to dance.
Well, that's exactly how I feel. So I feel like I have been well and truly fucked the last 2 days. It's just.
But you're going to get it. You're going to be fabulous.
Lot. It's a lot. And then, so it's a lot. It's 3 hours rehearsal. It's a lot, but then on top of that, I'm fat and I'm old, and my knee is killing me, and my back.
It's like the
hurts.
trifecta. It's the trifecta.
And I took my dose of Zepbound yesterday, so of course today I'm nauseous. It's I have rehearsal again tomorrow. By the way, BTW. So that's 3 dance rehearsals in 4 days. We're gonna have actually 5 rehearsals in 6 days, which to me. I don't think the whole schedule's like this, but is a lot for community theater. It's a lot. It seems like a lot. Asking a lot. I mean, nobody who's part of the thing is going to hear this, but even if they did, I'm not. It's asking a lot to do 5 rehearsals in 6 days, I think.
Oh,
especially, if it's going to be 3 3-hour dance rehearsals in a row, I don't know. It's just, I'm worn out already, and I have to rehearse tomorrow, Monday, and Tuesday still.
Oh, Jesus. Good Lord.
And, and again, it's just so everybody knows, if there's anybody out there who doesn't actually know us by some strange chance of the imagination, one of the 60 people who listen to the show, I am not getting paid. I am actually paying to do this show. Now, not very much. You pay $40 a year to be a member of the community theater that you're a part of. But so everybody pretty much has a full-time job. Kids. I mean, I don't have kids, but I have a 14-year-old dog who is like taking care of a kid. It's a lot. And I'm really like kind of just at the end of my rope today. Like I'm not that's not the right phrase. That's not the phrase.
You're just feeling especially like
I'm just worn out. I'm just dead. I like my brain isn't working. Obviously, what I just said, the wrong phrase, but it's just, yeah. And unfortunately, I mean, I have fun. I'll put that in air quotes at rehearsals. I like the people are nice and the choreographer's wonderful. She's so sweet. I adore her, but it's a lot of work for me.
Yeah.
It's not like I'm having a good time doing it. I'm working. I have to work. And working, again, 5 extra days out of 6 is just a lot.
Sometimes the destination, Jamie,
Yeah.
is about the journey. It's about the journey.
The destination is about the journey? Do you mean it's
Mhm.
not about the destination? It's about the journey?
Yeah, something like that is what I was intending to say. I just love that you can read my mind for me. You can tell me what I mean.
Joey.
Well, what other than that, other than torturing yourself, what else have you been doing?
Nothing. Nothing. That's all I've been
I mean, that's
doing.
enough. Like, I couldn't even imagine. Like,
No, really.
I said that to you in
Nothing.
text. Like, if I were to try doing a show in like dancing, there's no way. I would be. I mean, Jesus Christ, if I have to go to Costco, I'm fucking winded for the next day. Because
Well, Costco is a lot.
it is a lot. It is.
I've been doing nothing. Working, and then this, and yeah. I mean, that's it. Watching TV.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
The thing that pisses me off most, and then we can move on from the rehearsal thing, is that my Apple Watch, I danced for 3 hours straight, and my fucking rings are not closed yet.
What?
And normally, like, I could walk a mile and my rings would be closed.
Right.
Like, my rings are very generous to me, but it's not registering. I don't know what it is. I'm sweating my ass off and breathing like a sleep apnea. Alligator. I don't know. Apnea and alligator kind of went together, I guess.
That sounded all right.
And my Apple Watch is like, yeah, what are you doing? Are you eating bonbons? Oh, wait, you took a step.
It's
Click.
minusing the rings. It's like, this motherfucker ain't doing nothing. Take that shit away.
So it's like a double curse.
It's okay, baby.
What are you doing? What's new with you?
What have I done? Well, I've had an exciting week or so. Last week we had the tea dance that I was saying that I was going to go to, which ended up being a lot of fun, and it was so perfect because it is a mostly older crowd. So we went in by 4, and by 7 o'clock we were all headed home, and it was just perfection.
Yeah,
but like you, I was fucking exhausted, and I didn't even dance, Jamie. I just sat around, drank beer, and talked, and I was exhausted.
How do you still drink beer?
I mean, I'd grab a Michelob Ultra because it's low carb, and that's what I nurse. So, it's easier than if I have a cocktail, I might, end up having too much fun and then be like, where's the party going after this?
I can't drink a beer anymore.
But that was one of my big things. And then tomorrow we have with the same group, the Out Myrtle Beach group. Tomorrow we have drag brunch. And I'm kind of excited because Thorgy Thor from RuPaul's Drag Race is going to be there.
Really? How much were the tickets?
They're only like $25 a ticket.
Wow.
It's
and I
really,
think the
really
G
cool.
Is soft.
What, on Thorgy?
I thought it was Thorgy.
Oh, I don't know.
Thorgy Thor. I think it's Thorgy.
Thorgy Thor, whatever the fuck. I don't know. But I liked him on the show. And so, and then, the person who's heading up all of the drag race or all the drag shows has really made some great connections. Like next month is Mrs. Kasha Davis or Ms. Kasha Davis.
Oh, wow.
And some other queen from like Miami or something. So I don't know. There's she's really working hard to get quality entertainment for them because they're sold out every single month. And they got this great location that we go up to that's on the waterway. And it's like a big upstairs patio. And there's so much space. And we have the whole joint to ourselves. And it's really a lot of fun. So this will be the third one we've gone to. But I really do enjoy them. They're a lot of fun. We got a new RV this week. I told you.
Ooh, yeah, I wasn't going to say anything.
It
I was
was
gonna
real
pretend like it was
exciting.
new information. Ooh, really?
Yeah, it was exciting because we loved our RV, but it wasn't exactly what we had wanted, because when we got it, we bought it with the intention of taking my dad on trips as well. So
Right.
he wanted to have a bed for him and everything. So we were just like, now that my dad has no interest in traveling anywhere at all, we were like,
Right.
we really need to trade this in and get one that's more comfortable for us. Like the most important thing was a fucking king size bed. So it
Because
has
you
a
were
king
slumming
size
it in
bed.
you were slumming it in a queen?
Yeah, but with the two dogs in an RV, it just does not feel like a queen size even. It feels like a twin. So I'm hoping that the king will actually feel like a queen, and then I'll be okay.
Yeah.
But
You are a
yeah.
queen.
So so anyway.
Exactly. You just made my point. If everybody could have seen your face, all you needed was lipstick and a cigarette.
If everybody could look at you with the motherfucking purses flying out your mouth while you talking, then they would
Purses?
realize. Yeah, yeah.
What's a purse? You mean like a purse? Purse? Like
Yeah.
something?
Mm-hmm.
What does that mean? I don't understand.
Like a clutch just flying out of your mouth. A
Okay.
bejeweled one.
Okay.
Glittery.
I don't understand. I don't understand the insult. I don't get it. I'm sorry. So it's not working on me.
No,
No. It's again, I told you my brain isn't working very well today.
apparently. Because that's
I
been
don't get it.
a gay insult since like 1989.
A clutch flying out of your mouth?
I did not say clutch the first time, bitch. That was
Okay, a purse
descriptor.
flying out of your mouth? That's
Yeah.
I've never heard it ever in my life. A purse flying out of your mouth?
Yes, you are so gay that
Never
when you
heard it.
open your mouth, a purse flies. Okay, well, you're so gay when you open your mouth, a dick flies out. Okay, how that sound?
Okay. I don't understand why the purse would be in the mouth. I don't get it. Something ain't right.
You're
I
just
understand why a dick
ruining.
would be in the mouth.
You're ruining our culture. You're
But
ruining it.
I think you're making things up. I think you're just gaslighting me.
I think Jamie is getting forgetful in his old age. You're
So all of our
forgetting
60 listeners, if you've heard you're so gay that when you opened your mouth a purse flew out, if this is something you've heard before on the schoolyard, in the schoolyard, or
Mhm.
in the gay bar, let me
Yup.
know. I'm
Yeah.
curious.
Let us know.
I'm not I'm not totally convinced I'm not being punked. That's what I think's happening right now. I think maybe Ashton Kutcher is somewhere. And
You think I just made it up on the spot, and I'm just
yes,
like
that's exactly what it
I'm
sounds like.
I'm gonna die on Purse Hill.
It sounds like you made something made up. It sounds like you just made it up. Yes. So even though I'm sure it's real, I'm sure you wouldn't lie to me. It sounds freshly made up. Yes. So whoever wrote it, I don't know what to say. But you could do better.
Anyway,
You could do better next time.
all right, I'll work on that. I'll work
No,
on
I
my.
meant the person who wrote it. You're fine. I love
okay,
you no matter
okay,
what.
okay.
But the person who first said that, somehow it caught on, I guess. They need to work, allegedly. They need to work on their comedy skills because.
Mm-hmm. On a somber note.
Oh shit! What?
I had two people whom I love and adore pass away this week, and it was really, really hard. My cousin in Kentucky, well, they actually live in Ohio, but my cousin Jeff had a stroke.
Oh my!
And
How
yeah, he was 71.
old? Still young.
So yeah, he's still. It was too young for him. He was a very active person, and they were really great. And they're some of my few like liberal family from Kentucky.
Oh.
I mean, I shouldn't say that. I still have quite a few, but it was just a shame because he was such a wonderful person, and I feel really, really, really bad for
Sorry,
his
babe.
wife Sherry. So yeah,
didn't know.
that was a hard loss. And then my dad's friend, the woman across the street, suddenly just passed.
Oh.
And it was the same sort of thing. She had fallen in her house, and what we thought was just simple, like broken bones and everything, ended up turning into infections. And then they had to put her on the ventilator. And then they wanted to put her on a ventilator, but her and her family decided that they didn't want to do that. So she passed as well. And that's just been really hard because that was my dad's like lifeline. They were, like they would hang out all day together. They would go places together. And it really kept my dad busy after my mom passed, so they were just two friends who it just happened at the right time. She just moved here right after my mom died, and they just became buddies. And so I feel really bad for my dad, but plus I just adored her. She was a wonderful person. So they died within like 2 days of each other. And so that was just like, Jesus. Like, it was just, it sucks.
Yeah.
I hate that
terrible.
shit.
I'm sorry.
And you pepper that with everything going on in the media. And I'm just like, you know what? I need a break. I need to go check myself into like a rehab or something for enjoyment. Wouldn't that be good?
Let's go to like
let's go to
rehab or a fat farm or
in like Reno or something. We'll just go to we'll just go there for like 2 weeks. And then just bitch, your knee best not.
Hold on. No, my knee's fine. It's fine.
Good. I thought you done broke that shit again.
It's clicking really weirdly.
But that's all I've been doing, baby. That's all I've had going on.
That's it?
Yeah.
Well, that's a lot.
I mean, but I feel like, I think if this had been like 3 or 4 months ago, I don't know if I would have been able to mentally like cope with social activities plus 2 deaths and buying a new RV. Like, you know what I mean? I just feel like I'm getting back to that usual self I was before my heart went all wackadoo and sort of knocked me down again. So I really do feel like I'm back to where I was, where I can actually cope.
Yeah.
Because it was touch and go there for a little while.
We all like to hear that.
But that's it. That's all that's been going on, baby.
So worried about my knee now. Like I'm gonna just every move. I'm like, it's gonna lock.
Don't do it. Don't do it. Don't fuck around with that knee.
Well, the other thing that we've both been doing, obviously, segue.
At first,
is
I thought
watching
you were
the Traitors.
Sex. I was like, we've both been having sex? What?
Sex.
Speak for yourself.
We've been watching The Traitors, and it was the penultimate and the finale episodes last week and this week, which is a bummer.
Yeah.
But let's start with last week. Last week, let's see what happened, Joe. So, ladies and gentlemen, I did not take notes for last week's, or I think I did, but I think I deleted them. Ooh, I wonder if I can go back. No, it'll get rid of all the notes I've taken now.
Yeah, don't do that. I'd say our listeners are getting used to the trend of you not taking notes.
See, this is what I didn't want you to say because it's not true.
No, it's not true. It is not true. It's not true. I'm only teasing. So we started off episode 10, the penultimate episode, with Danielle, like the predictable person she's been through the entire thing, recruiting Brittany.
Yes.
Which was just like even Brittany, like when they were interviewing her prior to it, said, would she really recruit me? It seems so obvious. Like, I mean, even she realized how obvious it would look.
And yet she did it.
Yeah. And Tom was murdered. It was
that or die, so.
Tom was murdered, which we were really
poor Tom.
No, it's like he could go. That motherfucker, crazy-eyed motherfucker.
He is. No, he is sweaty and crazy-eyed and non-sexy gap-toothedness.
And this is what I wrote down about Tom. I mean, they did kind of like set him up perfectly to get rid of him, and it was perfect because I mean he did need to go just because he annoyed the fuck out of me anyway.
Yeah, I didn't want him to win or anything like that.
The challenge, which came with the whole concept of the seer,
right,
that special award that they were gonna get if they happened to win this challenge.
Wait, hold on. It's you. What did you call it?
The seer.
Yeah, but you got to do it like this. The seer. Every time he said it, he put his arm up. Every single time.
I didn't notice.
Every single time he said it. In this episode, when he said it again, in the final episode when he said it again, he put his arm up.
Oh,
it was so cute. I just love him so much.
Missed it. I wasn't paying attention to it. But of
So
course,
sorry.
during the challenge, we didn't know what it was going to be. We just knew it was
Right.
like a special award that they were going to
Power.
So all I wrote down about the challenge was that it was clowns, dolls, and poop. Because it was like popping balloons and creepy dolls that's, they had to try and win money off of. Like, it was just, there were some weird challenges for that one. And it was all like creepy factor for all of them.
And it looked to me, who did you think at the end of it, who did you think had won? Do you remember?
I'm trying to remember. Because I didn't
for sure
write
thought
it down.
Danielle had won because she is the only one that had the doll that gave her all the way up to $2,000.
Yeah, that's right.
So I thought for sure Danielle won that. And then we can talk when we get to it about who actually won it and all of that.
So then I just jumped right into the round table on my notes. But there was in this particular vote, they ended up voting twice, right?
Yes.
Yeah. And on the first time, it was like a stalemate.
Right. Between Danielle and Ivar. Yeah.
And then when they went to do the vote for the second time, there was this.
Wait, hold on. I want to pause. I want to say something about the vote. Before the first vote.
Go ahead. Uh-huh.
The first vote for me, God, I know I had notes on this. Fuck. Let me just make sure that I don't have the notes on this. No, this is all new. I was so happy that Dylan voted for Danielle.
Yeah.
I thought for sure he wasn't going to do it again. I thought he was going to screw Gabby. And I also want to know why they switched from Gabby to Ivar.
Yeah.
It was weird to me. Then that made me think something about, because I thought when they got to that vote, the seer had already happened. I didn't realize
I did
after
too.
that.
I confused myself because when they talked about the seer on the final episode, I was like,
seer.
oh yeah. I know I even held my hand up when I said it, but I didn't do the accent. I was like, oh yeah, the seer. Oh yeah, that's right. Like it was like I had to, because it's like they sort of left it alone for the whole rest of this episode.
Yep. So Danielle and Brittany, and Dolores of all people, because voted for Ivar.
Yes.
And then Gabby, Ivar, and Dylan all voted for Danielle. So it was 3-3. So now we're to where you were. Sorry.
No, that's all right. I was just talking about the whole eye contact thing between Dolores and Brittany.
Yeah.
So they really did make it look like
they edited it.
Like Brittany was looking at Dolores, and Dolores kind of looked over at
Danielle,
and then looked back, and so Brittany was like, "Oh,
everybody's voting for Danielle."
I guess everybody's voting for Danielle. So, and then when they got around, Dolores didn't even vote for Danielle.
No.
And you could
Dolores
just see
was so clueless.
Brittany just melted, just crumbled.
I know,
because
but
she
at that
realized
point,
she fucked up.
But see, at that point, not knowing what she actually did, I thought it was all editing. I thought they were just making it look like that Brittany was like distraught about it.
It's possible.
No, I'm not saying they did. I'm saying in my mind, there was no way Brittany voted for Danielle. There was no way that she did it. So I just thought they were making it look like maybe she did because of this whole Dolores thing.
Yeah, because that's how the episode ended, by the way.
It ended on a cliffhanger.
Yeah, we didn't get to see who she voted for.
But
yeah, that shit drove me crazy because I was like, oh my God. And and they never stopped there. Like they never, they always had a tendency to stop in the same sort of area, like just before they decided who they were going to murder or whatever.
Right.
So I was not expecting the episode to end, and I was so fucking pissed because I was like, who the fuck did she vote for? But of course, the way they edited it and made it look, you were like, oh, she voted for Danielle.
Right. Which is interesting to me.
Mm-hmm.
that they did, but I still, because the editing seemed to be leaning that way, I just didn't believe it. I was like, there's no way they're telling us she voted for Danielle.
They're just trying to set it up like to make us think that she did.
Right. But it turns out that she did.
She sure did.
And now we're in the finale.
Now
And
we're on a finale episode, which
my
was
first
episode
note
11.
is I'm literally 3 minutes in and I had to pause because I was made mad all over again about the stupid voting because I was watching the recap first. Or no, they recapped it first within the thing.
Mhm.
And I was like, oh, it just made me so mad because I thought they're really just milking this Brittany looking like she's voted for Danielle thing.
Yep.
And she did vote for Danielle. And I wrote, fuck yes, they is a god.
Because nobody should be surprised that Jamie and I were not Danielle fans.
No.
I really think she was a shitty player.
Nor was most of America.
No.
Most of America.
I thought she was a shitty player. I thought that she was overly dramatic and that she, would just, I mean, she just would like chew up the scenery just to try to get attention.
Too much.
And then, I mean, staying true to form, she did the exact fucking thing when she stood up to reveal whether she was a traitor. Oh, wait, no, she didn't reveal whether she was a traitor, did she?
Yes, she did. Yeah,
she did. Yeah,
it was the next person who didn't.
Yeah, she, and then the way she just totally shaded Brittany, like as if Brittany was the most horrible person in the world.
Even though she had done the exact same thing. I was just going to say that.
Even though Danielle had done the exact same goddamn thing to like three other traitors, it just really pissed me off that she made her feel like such shit. And I truly felt like when Brittany was crying and feeling all like in her feelings at the end of that was very genuine. I felt like she was kind of just like, yeah, I do. Okay. I mean, at that point I do. I don't think now after seeing the reunion episode that Brittany is shedding any tears over Danielle at all anymore. No. But I digress. I'm jumping ahead.
You Degrassi Junior High.
But yeah, so I just wrote down what a horrible person about Danielle, just because I thought that was a really shitty way for her to go out to just, to drive a shank into Brittany and then head off.
It was classless. It was totally classless.
So then I also wrote down, Brittany is the seer? Like I didn't even remember it.
I wrote, of course it's fucking Brittany. I don't hate her like I hated Danielle, but I don't want Brittany to win. And this is the thing for me is I thought Danielle had won it. I don't remember Brittany doing that well in the games.
I don't either. I was confused by that. I
just think they gave it to her because they didn't know what else to do with it.
They were afraid that it would just be over too quick. And like, somebody was obviously going to pick her.
Thing, yeah.
So quickly, the seer was supposed to be that whoever won could take any other player and sit them down and ask them whether or not they are faithful or a traitor, and they had to tell the truth. So everybody was already like thinking Brittany was a traitor. So of course, anybody who won the seer would have picked Brittany, and then the game would have likely been over because they would have felt like they got the last traitor and it was done and blah blah. Even though they don't technically know if there's another traitor or not. But anyway, so I wrote down, I have wanted Dylan to stay the entire game because he is one fine ass motherfucker to look at. Mm-hmm. But on that final episode, I wanted his fake ass gone. He annoyed the fuck out of me, Jamie. His whole like around the round table and being such a baby. He was such a baby.
Oh, I didn't think that at all.
Oh, just interesting. Because he had this whole narcissistic feeling about himself, like he's some like great player of the game now, and it just really rubbed me the wrong way.
Wow, it did. And I did not read it that way at all.
Wanted him dead.
Interesting.
Dead.
Interesting.
I even wrote down Dylan is giving spoiled baby.
Wow. Wait, you went you're already at the second round table.
Oh, right? Yeah, I sure did. I jumped ahead. I'm sorry.
You jumped ahead.
I did.
So Brittany's the seer. We found out that Brittany's the seer, and then they go and they're talking, like everybody breaks off and they have conversations and stuff. And I wrote down, which you're not going to like. Well, at this point, you probably still liked him. I wrote, Dylan is so smart because I didn't even think about the fact that Brittany's saying whoever she brings is a traitor. Like, I didn't even think about that option of saying the person was a traitor.
Right.
would be so smart in a lot of ways. Not for Brittany.
No.
But it would be smart. And then we get into the seer evening, and it's like a dinner between the two people, Brittany and whoever she chose. And I wrote, it's going to be Gabby. And it was Gabby.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't go back and edit notes after things actually happened. This is just what I was feeling in the moment.
Here's what before you go into that, here's what I wish she would have done. I wish she would have picked Dylan and then afterwards went out there and was like, that motherfucker is a traitor.
But were you thinking that at that moment? You were already thinking that?
I was already, I was put off by him on the previous round table. He just really got on my nerves.
Interesting.
Yeah. He was just too highfalutin, Jamie. Too highfalutin.
You are so fickle.
But I did love him up until that point. I did.
I don't want to hear it.
I did.
So that's not what happens. Thank God, because Dylan is my baby daddy. But so they're talking and everybody's whatever. We haven't found out yet what Brittany says after this is before the meeting. No, this is after she chose Gabby. I just wrote Gabby is going to be collateral damage because they're not going to believe Brittany. And then Dylan said they couldn't trust Gabby either, which I think is dumb.
Yeah.
That's the point I was trying to make. His plan was if Brittany says she's a traitor, which I believed she was going to say as well.
I think, we all did.
Then they wouldn't believe Brittany, but they also couldn't trust Gabby anymore either. So, but I thought that was dumb because again, it's all editing. It's all editing. Because in my mind, it seemed like on past episodes, and I think Dylan and Gabby were pretty strong now in their belief of each other. But they really made it look like... Yeah, they really made it look like... well, not yet they didn't, but they made it look like Gabby and Dylan were going to be kind of going after each other.
Yeah.
But
they sort of implied that Dylan... They actually implied that Dylan was going to be like... try to throw both of them to the wolves and then try to eliminate more players just so he could win all the money.
Who said that? Did they say that on the show?
They sort of implied it by people, just from the things that people were saying. Okay. And so I kind of thought, is that the direction that it's going to go? Because I could see that happening. But that's not even remotely close to what happened.
No, because Dylan's a good boy. He's a good boy.
He's a little spoiled bitch.
He's a sexy motherfucker.
Look, I ain't saying he ain't sexy, because he's sexy as hell.
So the next morning, they all meet for breakfast in the usual way. There's no deaths. And then they come in, and Brittany tells everybody what she's going to tell them. Now, if she was going to tell them she was a traitor, she never would have said it at breakfast.
Right.
I don't think. But she tells everybody she's a faithful, which is true because Gabby's a faithful and Gabby's perfect.
I think everybody was expecting her to say whether the person was faithful or traitor, like right from the get-go, but she didn't have to. Obviously, she could have said it whenever she felt like it.
Right. So that was that. So Brittany, so now Dylan is confused. Everybody's confused because they were really expecting Brittany to say she was a traitor. That would have showed that Brittany was a traitor. But now that Brittany they're unsure. Now everybody's unsure. So we go into the final challenge with everybody being unsure.
And what was the challenge again? I didn't even write it down because I didn't care about it.
They got a clue and they had to figure out a riddle.
Yeah.
That then they got in cars and it would take them to a place. They had to find, I don't know how many of them were there left? 5?
Like 4 or 5.
Cars with bags of money also in the thing. And if they got the money, and they had to do it all within like a minute, or no, not a minute. It's very short. They had a very short amount of time to do, half an hour. They had to do it within a half an hour. And one of the things required math, and Brittany figured it out really quickly. And then Gabby said, and I quote, 23 times 4. I guess Brittany knows her What, periodic table? And the funny thing is, Gabby is smart. Gabby is really smart. She's a nurse. She's not dumb. But man, I fucking love her on TikTok, Joey. Oh, she's so good on TikTok.
I like her a lot. After this show, I was just kind of like, oh, I like me some Gabby.
Yeah, I like she's a lesbian. I didn't realize Chriselle. This is later stuff. I didn't realize Chriselle was a lesbian.
Oh, she was?
Well, when they came out for the, I'm jumping ahead. When they came out for the
reunion episode,
they brought 4 gay people out. She said, "We're bringing out 4 whatever," and it was Bob,
I missed that.
It was Gabby. She said something that made think that everybody who was coming out was LGBTQ or something. I'll have to go back and watch it. And Chriselle was one of them. And I was like, huh? But maybe she is. She could be. Okay. And then the second part of the challenge was I'm having a stroke. I originally thought he was going to give them a choice if they wanted to do it, but they didn't have a choice. I mean, they could have said no, I suppose, and just not got any money, but they were put in pairs except for Ivar. Ivar was solo, and they were connected together, and then a helicopter fucking lifted them up into the fucking sky, very high, going over trees. And then there was a ring of fire on the grass, and they had to drop money bags and try to get them within the circle of fire. And then if they did, they doubled their money. And the only thing I wrote about that was no, not for $1 million. I don't care. I would
and you know what I said?
Able to do that.
The funny thing is being in a helicopter, like with a door open, would freak me the fuck out. But hanging from a string from a helicopter wouldn't bother me.
Really? Even if you're buckled in the helicopter? I mean, I wouldn't want to do either of them.
I don't think I would be as scared. I mean, I would still be scared. Don't get me wrong.
Would you bungee jump?
But hell no.
Well, okay.
But I hang and float through as something drove through. And I mean, like when I did hang gliding.
Yeah.
Is that what they call it? From the boat, when the boat pulls you up? Is that what
paragliding?
It's called? Parasailing. Thank you. I loved it. I loved the whole feeling of it, of just floating up in the sky. Of course, I had taken a Valium, but
I don't know if that would scare me as much because you're over water, and I'm like, if I fall, I probably won't die.
I don't know. I just like that feeling of floating through the air. But
we should do that. Put it on your bucket list, and I won't do it, but I'll watch you do it.
You'll watch me do it? Okay.
Yeah.
You could
just like I watched Paul do a zip line. No, I won't be in the helicopter.
Ooh, I would do a zip line, honey.
Are you out of your fucking mind? Did you say I could throw things down to you like I was in the helicopter?
Yeah, you'll be up there by that open door.
Fuck you. I have no interest in going in a helicopter. None. I've gotten to the point where I don't even really like flying. Now, I will never not fly. As far as I know, I will always fly because I want to go places and I don't want to be like my father.
I enjoyed the helicopter. We went on one for my 40th birthday. I had won it, like a free trip on a helicopter here in Myrtle Beach, and it was really cool. But the thing is it's such a small space, and when it turns, it's like you're practically upside down, like you're just like, and it's all like glass.
Yeah.
So
bitch, what do you think? Why you're not selling it to me? You're proving my point.
No, I just mean that if I was hanging or dangling from a rope underneath it, I would not be as scared. I don't know why. I guess because I would just feel like I was strapped in, so I would feel like I was safe. I don't know why.
Down.
Anyway,
interesting.
Okay. So they dropped the bags of money.
And they did double some of their money. I don't remember how much they got. It was like $37,000 or $35,000. Yeah,
they made a bunch of money
like that.
Which is funny because Marty and I watched the New Zealand version.
Yeah.
And their whole entire pot for the whole show was $70,000. And I was like,
oh my God.
That's it? That's all the money they get? And I just happened to look it up too, but in New Zealand, the average price of a home is $693,000. I was like, so what you gonna do with $70,000? It's like pocket change.
Yeah, you could buy a car maybe.
And they were fighting over that money. Like they was like gonna get something. I'm like, shit. $70,000.
How much? 70,000. What was the most they could have won? 70,000 was the most.
70,000 was the most. They didn't even win 70,000, but that was the most.
Fuck that. I'm not doing all that shit. I'm putting bugs on me for $70,000.
Right? It was funny. Marty and I were
Alan
cracking
Cumming
up.
is not there in a great outfit, and I'm earning at least a couple hundy thou. Don't call me. Don't call me. So then they all go back in the house, and they all separate and talk, and Brittany throws Dylan under the bus, and Dylan throws Brittany under the bus, and they make it look like Gabby's on Brittany's side now, and Dolores, you don't know what she's going to do, except at one point she comes in and she's like, she says, if you screw me or whatever, I'll whatever. And I was like, oh, I guess maybe she is with Dylan.
Well, that was another example of a good edit too, because they really kept us guessing as to, I had no idea how anybody was going to vote going into that final round table.
Well, I knew how just like Brittany and Dylan were going to vote.
Well, yeah, I knew how they were going to vote, but
didn't know
everybody else. They kind of left it really vague so that we wouldn't know for sure.
Yep.
Which I did enjoy.
Yep.
But the whole time I'm thinking, fucking get Dylan out. I want him out, out, out.
Oh my God.
I did not like I wrote, his cockiness.
Thank God that they got rid of Brittany. I was so nervous. I want Dylan and Gabby to both win, but I hope Gabby wins if only one can.
So they do the first vote. They get Brittany out.
Yeah.
She doesn't
not reveal she's a traitor.
So they don't know if she's a traitor or not. So then they go into where they can either decide to banish again or end the game. So they go out to the fire pit or whatever, and they choose their little sachet of either I like sachet. Either red or green. So green, they're gonna
end
the game, and red, they're gonna vote again. And I thought for sure that Dylan was gonna throw red because he wanted to vote again, because he just wanted to get rid of other people.
Well,
I really felt like he was. I know he did say, it's in my best interest to just end the game.
Yeah.
And I thought that everybody would look at him and be like, oh, he's a traitor. He just wants to end it. And I thought Dolores was going to throw red because I thought she really believed that Dylan might be a traitor, but she didn't.
No,
they all threw green, and they all ended the game.
Why are you mad because Dylan ended the game, or are you mad because they all threw green? Did you want more drama?
I wanted Dylan gone. I wanted them. I knew if they did another vote that they would vote Dylan, because that's who they were all like. And I really feel like Brittany missed an opportunity to really paint Dylan in a more of a poor light, because she did go after him in the round table, and she kind of brought up all these things, but she really could have, like, really sold it by going on about how, he's been championing, like, going after specific people. And like, I really think she could have had an opportunity to really get everybody to be like, you know what? You're right. I think he might be a traitor.
I don't think so. I think everybody loves Dylan.
Well, they did love him. They did love him. Ultimately, they did love him. But I think she missed an opportunity where she could have pushed people over the limit by really selling the fact. I mean, some of these people just aren't as good of liars as I would consider myself to be.
No, I wrote. I missed a whole bunch. So
the biggest thing about the round table that really pissed me off was that he was not expecting Brittany to come after him.
Yeah. And
he got so fucking butthurt about it that it irritated the fuck out of me. And that's what I wrote down, because I'm like, you get to accuse Brittany, but you get so bent out of shape when she accuses you. And then he even called it assault, that she assaulted him. And I'm like, what? It just pissed me off. He was such a big baby about the whole thing because he was so upset that somebody was accusing him.
Yeah. Well, when you went back to the round table, so that's good, because I missed like a whole thing of notes about the round table. First, before the round table, I wrote, Dolores is so fucking dumb. Seriously, she's so easily manipulated, because I thought it was the edit.
Yep.
The edit made it look like Dolores was very easily manipulated.
I would agree.
And then I wrote, fuck yes, cat suit, Gabby. That shot of her walking into the round table in that cat suit. Oof. Made my
Yeah,
loins flutter.
she did look good, actually, really
She
good.
did. Oh. I wrote, I have no clue what's about to happen. And then I wrote, fuck Brittany for saying, don't come for me unless I send for you.
Oh,
Shut
yeah.
up. Shut up. Just shut up. And then I wrote, this show can be so overproduced. Just show me the fucking votes. And then I wrote, thank God. And then that's where I was so nervous. This is when they were going and they were going to put their things in the fire. That's where I wrote, I'm so nervous.
Okay.
And then after they did that, so all four of them won. And they split $200,000. Big mistake.
Oh, yeah. Big mistake.
Sorry. I got a text and I got distracted. I'm sorry.
Sorry.
Forgive me. And then I wrote, yay, I'm so happy. And then I said, I couldn't care less about Dolores or Ivar, but Dylan and Gabby, yay. I'm glad they both won. I know you don't like Dylan.
It's so funny, but I really like Gabby by the end, and I just was
like, oh my God, I love her so much.
And what's funny is I didn't pay much attention to her through the whole thing. I was just kind of like, oh, she's just this sweet little, girl or whatever.
Yeah,
but,
same.
But by the end, I was just like, you know what? I really like her. She was very fucking cool, and she's funny, and she knows how to even make fun of herself a little. And
totally,
fun.
She does.
And I love that. I think that, which is why I ended up kind of liking Carolyn too, because of the same reason. She just
I love Carolyn.
I was very endeared to her, and
they're both authentically themselves.
Correct.
Oh my God! Wait, when Gabby was drinking the tea, and this is 2 episodes ago, and Danielle was still there, and she went and sat down, and she was like. Then Danielle sat down and she's like, I'm not going to move. Gabby was saying this to us, and it was what she was thinking. I'm going to just let the uncomfortable silence happen, and whatever. And she was making these faces while she was sipping her tea. It was really cute. I just find her. I just love her so much.
Let's talk about the reunion episode really quick. I didn't take any notes or anything on the reunion episode.
I have a few.
Okay, go ahead. Go for it.
The first thing I wrote is, it's Andy Cohen. Why couldn't Alan host the reunion episode?
I know. I was a little surprised.
Why did Andy Cohen have to host it?
I don't hate Andy Cohen, but
I do. I do.
It would have been. I think it would have been better if Alan Cumming had done it. It would have been perfect.
And then I wrote Danielle sucks. And then I forgot all about Robin. When Robin came back out, I was like, who?
There were a few of them that I was like, wait, did we see that person?
Robin made it pretty late, though. Robin was in the game for a while. And I was like, huh?
Oh
yeah. The reunion was good, I thought. I don't watch a lot of reality TV, so I don't see a lot of these reunion shows, and Survivor doesn't do a reunion show anymore. So I don't see these types of things. You always hear about them and hear how things went down and whatever, but there were some moments. There were some interesting moments between Brittany and with Bob. There and what's her name? Dorinda from The Real Housewives. She went after Bob real hard.
Yeah.
Danielle and Brittany. Danielle and Carolyn. Lots of tension there. Carolyn and her faces. Here's the thing. I think. And this is such a cis white male of privilege thing to say. I get that. Everybody do you, but I don't think it's Carolyn's behavior is the only reason why people don't take her seriously. She does not dress well.
Oh no, she's very tasteless. She's very tasteless. Yeah.
It looks to me like she's wearing a fucking drag breastplate half the time.
Yeah.
Like her tits don't look good all the way she presents them.
Yeah.
Not again. Just never gonna hear this.
I mean, I don't like her makeup either. I mean, I don't know. I think she could stand to have somebody like come in and be like, girl, let's work on your look a little bit.
Yeah. Because I think she's very pretty.
I mean,
she
Danielle
makes the
looks
faces.
Great, but I hated her dress. I hated her dress that she was wearing. It looked like it weighed like 9 bazillion pounds, and it looked uncomfortable. A lot of the women looked uncomfortable because they're sitting.
They probably were.
And these gorgeous gowns. It's like, why are you wearing these gorgeous gowns just to sit and have your tits like up to under your chin?
Yeah.
Like, I just didn't. It didn't. Yeah, that part kind of was like uncomfortable. But again, Danielle just trying to like portray herself as this most brilliant game player
Yeah.
really fucking irritated me. And then to like compound on my new hatred for Wes, he was a fucking dick again, and it
Yep.
just made me go, you know what? I wouldn't even suck your dick now, okay? You ugly motherfucker.
God. Ladies and gentlemen, Joey Johnson.
I wouldn't, okay? I got standards.
So that was it. That was the Traitors. It was a good season.
It was. And we felt
I liked
compelled
it.
to talk about it. We did.
Yeah. Yeah. I think there were some really good things happen. There were some really good players. There were some really interesting people to watch. There weren't too many people that I absolutely hated. So, which doesn't happen a lot on these reality shows. Usually there's a lot more people that I'm like, oh God.
Yeah.
But really it was only Danielle and then briefly Brittany. But that's again, because I have a history with Brittany. So
yeah,
I had preconceived feelings about her. And then we also watched a movie of Joey's choosing. And why don't you tell us about it, Joey?
I had been recommended this movie by several people over the years, and it's one that I've always been like on my back burner because I love to watch a lot of the old classic movies, but I have to be in a certain mood to be like, let me just put that on and watch it, So I just I'm not always in the mood to watch something like that. And then I have a neighbor too we were talking one day, and he was and I brought up the name of the movie, and he was like, "Oh my God, you have to watch it." He's like, "You're gonna love this movie." So I finally said to Jamie, I was like, "Can we just watch this movie because I need to watch it anyway?" And Jamie didn't know anything about it either.
No.
But it's called Bunny Lake is Missing. It's from that really set it up, baby.
I always wanted to be a Foley artist.
It is from 1965 and directed by Otto Preminger, starring Keir Dullea, Carol Lindley, and Laurence Olivier. The synopsis is: a woman reports that her young daughter is missing, but there seems to be no evidence that she ever existed. And that's kind of the premise of it. So I was really excited to watch this. Jamie watched it like a while back, so he may be a little fuzzy.
I'm a little rusty on it.
Because I think we were actually going to talk about it, I think, on the previous episode too, but Jamie didn't have a chance to watch it. So he watched it as the first opportunity.
I watched it very quickly after that, so it's been like 2 weeks.
So I'm going to let you start. What did you think about Bunny Lake is Missing?
Jamie can't remember shit, but I'm going to let him start. It was okay.
Oh,
I didn't love it. I thought
really?
It was yeah.
Okay, go ahead. Bad? Why? No, why? I mean, my God, you're allowed to not like a movie.
Are you sure?
Yes.
I'll change it. I'll change my opinion, Joey. I'll do it.
Never change for me, Jamie. Never. I like you just the way you are.
I love you just the way you are.
So beautiful.
I don't know. I found it all a little over the top.
Well,
and weird.
Yeah. I think it was supposed to be, kind of.
Probably, yeah. I'm not used to seeing Laurence Olivier in a movie like that. I don't know.
If you look back, like even something like Whatever Happened to Baby Jane, that's so fucking over the top.
That's camp, though.
Yeah. Well, it wasn't intended to be at the time, but
Are you sure?
Oh yeah. I think they knew that it would be, but it wasn't the full intention. Like, they and for this movie, I mean, even though it had Laurence Olivier in it, I don't.
It didn't feel campy to me at all.
No, not at all. Although I have to say, and of course, I was watching it intently. So in the beginning,
I wasn't.
No. But I'm just saying, I was watching for every little nuance, and I was a little like, because when we open on this character of Anne. I think her name's Anne, right?
You keep
Yeah,
talking.
Anne.
I'll look.
And her brother. But at the beginning, we don't know that it's her brother. And so I
Yeah.
just assumed that it was her
Her
husband.
husband,
And
yeah.
so it was like awkward. Like I felt really uncomfortable when the way he was touching her and everything.
Yep.
Like once you found out that it was his brother, I was like, why
Yep.
is he caressing her that way?
Yep.
Like it felt
Yep.
very icky. Like I was like, oh, that's really gross. But first, like, let me go back to my notes. The opening credits were really fucking cool. I loved the whole like paper cutout thing. And the music going through. Like I thought that was really, really cool. I thought the credits
The only
looked
thing
awesome.
I said about it was the aspect ratio best be changing. I ain't trying to watch an iPhone video on my TV.
Oh,
Because there was the aspect ratio was all weird for quite a long time.
Oh yeah, during the opening credits, and then
Yeah. It was very small, and I was like, I'm not watching this fucking tiny little screen. I have to but then it opened up and it was fine.
But the the opening credits and then that weird flute music that started the whole movie, like as we just were like following the characters around or following Anne and her brother around, like it was just this weird sort of disjointed music, because I think they were obviously trying to like create an atmosphere of like something's not right here, something's a little weird. And
yeah, it was. It gave off a slightly creepy kind of feeling, even though it was juxtaposed with what we were actually seeing.
Right.
Wasn't necessarily creepy, but they made it feel that way.
And of course I knew that it was a mystery, so I was like trying to pay attention, because I'm like, there's going to be some sort of a sign. I'm going to catch something that's going to tell me what happens or whatever, which turned out to be all for naught, because you weren't really shown anything. She's basically walking through this school. She just recently moved to this area. She's obviously bringing her child to this school. And then she has to hurry up and get home to meet the movers at her house. So she leaves her child in the care of the cook. Well, she tells the cook to keep an eye out for her child so that she can go do this and then come back. And then, of course, when she comes back, nobody has seen her child.
Bunny Lake is missing.
Bunny Lake,
hence the title,
is missing. Yes.
Yeah.
But I thought there was a couple of things that I wrote down, like they had a sign that said restroom, and I was like, oh, she gonna look in the bathroom? And then I was like, oh no, it's kids like resting. I was like, it's very specific. It's a rest room. And then she turned right to the next door and it said washroom, and I was like, oh, okay, that's interesting.
She gonna look in the bathroom? That's what you said the last time.
Oh yeah. Oh,
she gonna look in the bathroom?
She gonna look in the bathroom?
I did write, as soon as when Carol Lindley first walked on screen, I just wrote, "Aw," because I just love her.
And
I love her
she's
so
not the
much.
best actress, though.
She's
in this.
not. She's terrible.
Not. But
she's terrible. She's terrible in everything. She was terrible in the Poseidon Adventure.
She really was.
But I love her so much.
I know.
Sweet
she's just
Noni.
She's enjoyable. When the brother shows up, because she calls the brother and she's like, "Oh my God, Bunny is missing." So blah 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 blah. I know. I guess she doesn't call her Bunny Lake.
Maybe she does.
Her name's actually Felicia.
Felicia.
Which I think there was even one of the characters made a reference to like a highfalutin name. She's like, "Oh, this is Felicia." Like it felt.
I don't remember that at all.
When she was talking to the inspector, the Laurence Olivier character, it was like she was sort of implying like, I mean, to say that her real name was Felicia sounds like made up, like, because people just don't name their children Felicia.
Right. Unless your name is Felicia Gallant and you live in Bay City.
But she also had a... Huh?
You Felicia are Gallant? My way to another world.
What is that?
It's from the old soap opera Another World. That's who Felicia Gallant. She was
Lord have mercy. You did a real deep cut.
I did a deep dive, yeah. Yeah, so what?
So that's where
what?
When he shows up, shut up. When her brother shows up, that's when they make the mistake of calling him the father, and he just says, "I'm not her father, I'm her uncle." And I was like, like I gasped, because I was just like, "Oh my God!" I thought for sure it had to be.
I did too. I think I mean, maybe not audibly, but I think I did. My reaction was like, "What?"
But I loved that the school lady was like, "Curiouser and curiouser." And I was just like, that's really cool because that's, it sort of made me think like, okay, this is going to be sort of playful. Yeah, they even wrote down he weirdly caresses his sister's hair and kisses her on the forehead.
Oh.
And then when they ask for a picture and he's like, let me see if I have a picture of Bunny. No, I don't have a picture. I have a picture of my sister. It's like, you have a fucking picture of your sister in your wallet? Like, that's just weird. That's just creepy.
Well.
Oh, Lord.
That ain't the end of his creepiness.
No, there's more.
Spoiler alert.
Superintendent Newhouse, that was the Laurence Olivier character. But he just I wrote down this quote because I thought it was so funny because he said, bus drivers tend to be dreamers or philosophers. And I was like, what?
They probably did back then. You know what I mean?
Back then, like now they are it was a career. Jaded people. That
yeah, they probably made decent money and steady work.
Oh my God. Sorry, Jamie. I can't read my own note.
I only have one more note.
It's funny
we haven't gotten there yet.
It's funny he didn't seem to have very much to say to her, but when he was, I don't remember.
Skip that one.
Oh,
baby.
he was talking about his there was something to do with like seeing somebody about her dead, was it the father of the child or something? No, because she was going to a therapist or she was going to a psychic or something and then was talking to this person, or maybe he was talking about their parents. I can't remember, but he was just basically had this little quip about he didn't seem to have very much to say when he was alive, but now that he's dead, he's talking all the time.
Oh, you did not explain that well. You should have led with the line, and I didn't
write down the details, so I couldn't remember what. I just remember they were talking about something about her seeing like a psychic.
Okay, don't go back
something.
over it again.
I won't. But ooh, that creepy ass doll hospital that they had to go to looking for that doll. What the fuck?
Can you imagine? What if they gave you $1 million? Would you sleep there overnight?
Hell no.
Oh, you wouldn't?
No, I'd rather hang from a helicopter.
For $1 million?
Well, maybe, but I'd still be scared.
Yeah, I would be scared, but they'd be, if they give us $1 million, we'll do it together, 500,000 each.
Okay, yeah, I'd do it.
Unless one of us doesn't make it out alive.
Nah, if we were together, I wouldn't be scared anymore because I would push you in front of me.
I know.
Oh my God. So then that's the first real scene though too, is Steven is the brother's name. When we see him take the doll and burn it. And then like he tells the hospital that she's making up the child. So we kind of like see this whole thing of him being like, the child never existed. And we're like, what?
Hence my last note.
Mm-hmm.
I knew that brother was cray.
Mm-hmm. He was cray. Like literally, because then after that we sort of like they sort of just jump right into the whole thing, and he's like, we see him carrying the child and he just looks catatonic, like he's being possessed by something, and you're just like, what the fuck is happening now? So it takes this weird turn, but there's not a whole explanation going on, and so you're not sure what's happening. And then of course the big reveal, and sorry, spoilers
spoiler for Bunny Leg is missing.
1965 movie. He did it. He took the child, and she's been asleep in his trunk for the entire day. Because that's healthy. But it turns out that the brother is, schizophrenic or has dual personality, something like that.
Yeah.
Because she sort of plays with him on the whole, like, trying to treat him like one person versus another person, like, talking about playing with Bunny. And I don't know. It was just kind of, there was no real full on explanation of his psychosis.
Yeah, yes.
But he was about to bury the child. He took all the child's belongings. He had dug a big ass hole. He was going to throw that child in there and kill it and bury
We
it.
all like Angela Bassett in Waiting to Exhale.
But that they
burn that shit up.
Find him and they
I mean,
catch
she
him
wasn't
and,
going to burn, but that's what she did.
didn't they call the place that they used to live before they moved into this new house? Didn't they call it Frogmore Cottage? It was Frogmore.
It was something like that.
They said Frogmore, but I don't know if they said cottage or not at the end. So of course I Googled and looked up Frogmore Cottage because isn't that where William and Kate live?
Oh God, I have no idea.
I'm pretty sure they live at Frogmore Cottage, or they have a house there, or something like that. But the houses look very similar, so I was like, taking it from 1965 to now, it could very well be the same exact place. I don't know. But I thought that was kind of interesting because they did say that it was filmed in the more affluent part of London, which would make sense. If they had a Frogmore Cottage, it would probably be. But I'm not a royal expert, and I don't know anything about the royals. I just knew that they called it Frogmore Cottage. So anyway, I'm assuming you're looking that up. So while you're doing that, I did jot down a few notes about the movie, or little tidbits.
Princess Eugenie lives in Frogmore Cottage.
Oh, I knew. Okay, so I knew it was a member of the family.
Yeah, Prince Andrew's daughter.
Okay. In 2007, they had actually talked about doing a remake of this movie.
Really?
And Reese Witherspoon was attached, and then it sort of, I guess, just fell apart. So it never happened. But I think a remake would be kind of cool.
It's very much the plot of Flight Plan, except that's in space and this is not. But that's what happens in Flight Plan. Jodie Foster's there with her daughter. She leaves her daughter at the seat, which comes back. The daughter's gone, and people say that she never had a daughter.
Forgotten about that. I had completely forgotten about that.
Yeah.
Oh, cool. So apparently Laurence Olivier and Otto Preminger did not like each other very much, or actually Laurence Olivier just did not like Otto Preminger. Apparently he was a dick to work for, and he had a tendency to scream at the people that he employed.
Wait, are you talking about Laurence Olivier or Otto Preminger?
Otto Preminger screamed. He was a mean director. He just would yell at people, and so Laurence Olivier didn't want to do it at first because he was like, I don't want to subject myself to that. So he told him, I'll do this movie as long as you promise not to yell at me. And so Otto Preminger made that promise to him. And he said, Laurence Olivier said that for the most part, he kept his promise, which I thought was kind of funny. Several people had a hand on this in the script, which I thought was kind of interesting because he basically bought the rights to the novel that this is based on in 1957. So it took him a really long time to get a script that he liked. But Ira Levin had a big hand in that, which I think is really cool considering Rosemary's Baby and all that. So
yeah, Death Trap.
Yeah. Oh, I love Death Trap. They made a reference to the movie about Junket, and Marty and I both, when we were watching it,
I looked it up too.
What the fuck is Junket? I was like,
I looked it up too.
I looked it up too, but so it was a traditional nursery food in the UK, and it was milk curds cooked with fruit. What the fuck are milk curds? Like cottage cheese?
Yeah.
Ew. Although I guess that would, I mean, I love cottage cheese and fruit, but I've never had it warmed, so I don't know what that would taste like.
No, sir.
Yeah,
no,
it doesn't sound appealing.
No, sir. Well, except I have had it warm because that's what Paul uses when he makes lasagna.
Oh, okay. Yeah. I mean, there's cottage cheese in my spinach pie, so
I don't like it as much as just ricotta. Why did I say it like that? I'm not Italian.
Ricotta.
I'm not Italian. Why did I have to say it like that? Oh, fuck off, Jamie. Just fuck off.
You're so pretentious.
Ricotta.
You and Dylan make a perfect couple.
Yes, we do. Daddy,
the
Dylan.
last little note I took was that Noel Coward's character in the film was supposed to be gay, and in the original script, he actually made a pass at Laurence Olivier's character.
Really?
And when the studio found out about it, they were like, "No, nix it."
That's because Laurence Olivier was gay.
Yep. So I thought that was kind of
bisexual, let's say.
So anyway, Jamie, so let's say if you gave it a score out of 10, what would you give it? Bunny Lake. She be missing.
A 6?
A 6? That's good. I gave it a 7.
Yeah.
So
Oh, okay. Well, then maybe I would say a 5. If you're giving a 7, I might say a 5. I was trying to be nice.
I mean, still, that's good.
No. I'll stick with no. You know what? I'm gonna stick with my 6.
You stick with it, Jamie. You stick with it.
There's a new show coming called The Studio with Seth Rogen.
Oh.
That looks really good. Catherine Hahn is in it. And I love
That'd be
Catherine
interesting.
Hahn.
If anybody wants to keep up with potentially things that we might be talking about in the future, I believe Jamie and I have decided that we are going to be talking about The Amazing Race.
Yes.
Mostly because I haven't watched it in years and years and years and years and years. Back before, like when I got rid of cable, it's just something that I didn't watch anymore. So when Jamie was like, "Oh, I'm watching The Amazing Race," I was like, "Oh, I could watch The Amazing Race."
And I was shocked. I was like, what?
And Marty loves it too. So we are going to do that. And then Jamie had suggested another show. Why don't you tell us about that one, Jamie?
Well, this one I can't believe he's agreed to watch because it is not only a network show, which he doesn't usually watch network shows until long after they're done anymore. He used to watch when he had cable and all that. He used to watch network shows.
True.
And it's first season, so you never know what's going to happen with shows these days. So normally he waits till the shows are over to watch them, but I thought this might look like a kind of fun, soapy thing to watch. And so it's called, I haven't said the name yet, have I?
No, I was waiting for you. I was going to remind you.
Okay. It's called Grosse Pointe Garden Society, and it takes place in Grosse Pointe, Michigan, which is also fun.
Which is why I agreed, because I was like, "Ooh, it's Grosse Pointe."
Not filmed in Michigan, unfortunately.
It's filmed in Georgia.
Our tax credits suck for filming. I mean, it was good for like 2 years.
Yeah.
And then Republicans took that away too.
Surprise.
So surprise. Surprise. You've seen those videos, right?
Mm-mm.
Oh, there's this guy on TikTok. He must not do Facebook. I don't know. TikTok. He's usually sitting on his couch, looking directly at the camera, smiling, sitting sort of backwards, and then he takes his one leg and he lifts it up all the way while the music says "surprise, surprise," and then what it is then there's text that'll say like, Target cut DEI, and now their stock is tanking.
Oh, that's funny.
Surprise, 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 surprise.
That's funny.
And it's so funny. He's great. I cannot think of his name, or I would tell people. But
you
would. If you search surprise, surprise on TikTok, you probably could find him.
I believe it is time for some opinionaries.
Why don't we talk about that before so I can actually do the sound?
I know. But you know what's funny is when I'm listening to our podcast, when I walk around the block, for some reason, every time you hit that goddamn thing, it scares the living shit out of me. And I know it's coming because I recorded the podcast.
Oh, that's funny.
Yeah.
Okay. I will read the first one.
Okay.
And the first one is from our friend Tracy. And the opinionary is titled "Say My Name."
Say my name.
Hold on now.
Oh, sorry.
Hey guys, just a quick note to say I wasn't trying to be an international woman of mystery. I just thought it'd be cool to go by my initials. Being called
Tem.
Yeah. Being called Tem proved to me that I clearly am not cool. Glad we figured that out.
That's making me laugh so loud.
Oh, thanks for reading my email, XOXO Tracy. And then P.S. I thought you could go Destiny's Child or The Neverending Story with the subject heading. Choose your own adventure. Smiley face.
Oh,
So that's from our good friend
never-ending
Tracy that we didn't. I
story.
wasn't sure if I could say her name, and I didn't feel like she was trying to be an international woman mystery. I thought it was
No.
more in my head
Yeah.
than anything. Like I really didn't think she would mind me saying her name,
Yeah.
but for some reason I was like, oh, I don't know.
You got
What
in
if
your own
maybe?
way.
Yeah. So thanks, Tracy. I love you.
I'm so glad she wrote in too, and I'm
Yes.
so glad that I'm gonna get to see her when next time I come and
Yeah.
visit. So I have missed her dearly, and this is gonna be fun.
I think we're gonna have some surprises for the podcast channel.
Ooh,
I think.
Yeah?
I'm trying to figure out how to do it, but I think we
Okay.
might have a couple surprises.
I'm down for some surprises.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay, so it's time for
Another opinionary.
say it again.
Another opinionary. All right. This one I have not read through first, so I apologize if I fuck it up.
That is why I don't let you read these things, bitch.
This is from best friend of the podcast, BJP,
Yes.
Brandy Joe
Yeah.
Plambeck from Scaring is Sharing podcast. If you guys haven't listened to them yet, because we're always talking about them, you should go check them out right away. And he says, oh, I forgot. Subject, my boys! Exclamation point. And then it starts, friends! Exclamation point. Love you so much and can't wait to hear your latest episode. I absolutely love 51st Dates. I think it has the perfect blend of comedy and sweetness. In particular, I love the ending so very much. I won't spoil it for anyone who hasn't seen it, but I think it is delightful and so touching. I think the only other film that I like Adam Sandler in this much is Punch Drunk Love. I fucking love that movie. That was a movie that surprised me. Have you ever seen that?
I've never seen it all the way through because of him.
Mm-hmm.
But I wouldn't be opposed to watching it at some point.
Actually, if I had to pick favorite Adam Sandler movies, it would be Punch Drunk Love, and then what was the other one about the diamonds?
Rough Cut.
I fucking loved. He was brilliant in that movie, and I was just kind of like, did he like go into a comedy career like out of like just sort of being forced into it? And because I think we would have all thought of him differently if he wasn't so silly and did more real films,
which is what he's trying to do now.
And he's a good actor. I mean, I
have never seen Rough Cut. It just didn't.
It's surprisingly like it was not one that I wanted to see. Like reading the premise, I was like, ugh, whatever. But I loved it. It was really, and he was just like mesmerizing. He was so good. So yeah, I would definitely recommend that. But I love Punch Drunk Love. Jamie.
Yes, that's me.
We reviewed Killer Joe on this week's episode, and it brought back so many memories of our time doing the show.
I just have to say really quickly, I think might have been yesterday, might have been the day before, I'm not sure, but my On This Day was my poster from Killer Joe.
Oh, when did you do that? Been a long time?
Oh God, I'm so terrible with.
No, it's all right. I was just curious because it's been a while, right? It's been a long time.
2000. You keep talking because I can find out when the movie came out.
Well, I was just gonna say because I was listening to their podcast and Brandy Joe was talking about it on there, and I was just like, wait, Jamie was in that show? Like I don't remember it. I don't remember you ever talking about it, or I guess never.
It's the show that Margaret has said to me. Margaret has said to me like that she realized I could play a good straight man.
Ah.
So, which I mean, she had not seen me in a ton of stuff. So I didn't, it was whatever, but I thought, okay, yeah, that's good. I think I play a pretty decent straight man on stage.
She was just
when I have to be. Okay. So the movie came out in 2011. I think we did it like the year before, so 2010 maybe.
Oh shit. So yeah, okay.
Yeah, maybe.
I mean, I'm sure you mentioned it too. Well, of course, I didn't. No, there wasn't a movie back then, was there? I don't remember when the movie Killer Joe was made. Anyway,
2011. That's what I just said.
oh, the movie was made in 2011.
Yeah, 2011, and I think we did it the year
Oh,
before.
okay. We just should have listened. We should have finished the paragraph. What a
Oh.
wild freaking ride that was. I loved rewatching the movie and reliving the experience of our production at the Ringwald 16 years ago. So if I had just read on, we wouldn't have been in this predicament.
Oh
So there you
boy.
go. It was 16 years ago.
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah. So no, I can't even remember yesterday, 16 years ago. But that's awesome.
Yeah, I loved doing that show. I mean, it was hard. That was a hard show because there was a lot of blood and a lot of like stage combat and stuff like that.
Yeah,
which
he
I
was
just
talking
hate.
about it on his podcast, and I was just like, oh, that sounds like fun.
Mm.
And I haven't seen the movie either.
Yeah, you haven't seen the movie?
I have not.
Why not?
I don't know. Like when he was talking about it, I was like, why have I never seen this movie?
Yeah.
I'm surprised, so I'm gonna
watch it.
But I sort of like tried to tune them out when they were talking about the actual plot, and because I was walking anyway, so I'm just like, look at the birds, look at the squirrels.
Oh, so
like,
it wasn't spoiled for you? You mean?
No, yeah, I didn't.
Okay.
I didn't allow it to cross the blood-brain barrier. Is what I did. Okay, next
more?
paragraph. Yes.
Okay.
Joe, this is girthy.
That's good. I like a girthy opinionary.
I know you do. Joe and I tried to watch Taskmaster from a couple of different countries and just couldn't get into it as much.
Oh, interesting.
But we are so excited that a new season is on its way.
I can't wait.
I've been engulfing the Fosters and loving every minute. It's not as juicy as Degrassi, but it fills the void for sure. Joey, I know that you watched it. Did you watch Switched at Birth? I really loved that show too, but it's been a good 10 years since I watched it. I am not even aware of that show. I don't even know what that is.
Yeah, I watched it when it was on briefly.
Yeah?
I think I only made it through the first maybe 2 seasons.
Mm.
And then it was like another one like The Fosters that was sort of like
Did you watch The Fosters?
No.
Okay.
But I know I probably have seen an episode or 2 of The Fosters.
I loved The Fosters. I mean, that's one of the things that Brandy Joe and I mean, Marty and I both like binged it so fast because we were just obsessed with it. But we have not watched the sequel, Good Trouble. We have not watched it's done now,
not
but
The
we
Fosters, The Permanence, the
Shut
sequel.
It's
Stop
called,
it.
It's called.
You already said what it was called.
Did I?
Yeah.
See what you're doing? You're fucking with me now, so I don't know what I'm doing anymore. You're making my mind all a jumble.
Read on.
Blah blah blah. It's been a good 10 years or so since watching. Okay, Brandy Joe, I will give it a shot and I will look for it. And if it's streaming somewhere, I will watch that shit. All right, love you both so much and can't wait to quote hang out with you again when your next episode drops. BJP. BJP. I love me some BJP.
Yeah.
I love their podcast. I was
trying to figure out about maybe trying to have a game night while you're here. I just don't know. I don't know who else I would invite.
Oh, we only need 2 other people. And it's fun.
But except Joe, I don't think Joe would come.
Oh, you know?
He does not like playing games. He's so competitive.
Well, I'm sure Brandy Joe can bring somebody.
Yeah. So just 2 people? That's it?
Oh, well, we could invite Tracy. What if Tracy would? Well, she's got children and stuff.
Well, yeah, but they're old enough now to be by themselves.
Yeah, that's true.
I think. I mean, Theo's graduating high school.
We'll reach out to Brandy Joe, and if he doesn't have somebody to bring, then we'll say, okay, we'll invite Tracy, and then that would be so much.
Why don't we just invite Tracy anyway? We can't do it with 6 people.
I didn't mean like either or. I just meant like they will make a perfect pair. But yeah, if you just had some friends, a date
first. Well, let's talk about this off air. Let's talk about it off air.
Anyway, what's next, Jamie?
Oh my God, aren't we done yet?
Oh, we're on consumption. Our final. Time for consumption. Baby, what you been consuming, Caton?
Communicating. Let's see. I started the new season of Survivor, which I like a lot. Been consuming. We finished Paradise. We finished Prime Target. One is on Hulu. One is on. Are they both on Hulu? I think they might both be on Hulu. Paradise is definitely on Hulu. No, Prime Target's Apple TV Plus. Still watching, chugging along with Elsbeth. Love it. Still watching Matlock because I'm 900 years old, but I enjoy it. And then consumption wise, I mean, food wise, I'm trying to think if there's been anything of note. Oh, yes. I got these things called firecracker carrots that are pickled carrots.
Ooh, yeah, you texted me about that shit.
So goddamn good.
I need me some of
those. So good. If you're local, I found them at Meijer. If you're not local, I don't know. Unfortunately, I bought an ice cream that I told you about too, but it's local, so I don't think it's nationwide. That's the Meijer by me. I don't know if the big Meijer, the one that we always used to go to, I don't know if they have all this local stuff, but the small little Meijer by me, Woodward Corners, they have a lot of local things.
Well, you need to go ahead and purchase a jar of those so that when I come to visit, I'm going to have that for myself.
I'll bring it. It'll be my gift to you, baby.
That sounds lovely.
So that's about it for me. What about you?
I only wrote down 2 things. The first being Reese's has their new peanut butter pie flavored Reese's peanut butter cups.
Seen it yet.
And they only come in the little individual small cups. What do they call those? Yeah, the miniatures. Which are not usually my favorite because I don't like the consistency of the chocolate when it's in such a tight little small package. It's just not too hard. Peanut butter. Not enough peanut butter. But these have like a peanut butter flavor mixed in with the chocolate, plus the peanut butter in the middle, plus graham cracker pieces.
Nice.
And they're goddamn good. They're so good, in fact, that I made Marty take the rest of the bag to work with him because I was like, you just need to get these away from me because I'll just eat the whole bag. Yeah, I really highly recommend trying those. Now, again, and I always say this every time I try something new from Reese's, there will never be anything better than a white Reese's egg. That is just the ultimate Reese's.
Which I have my first.
I had mine months ago.
Oh, really? No, I had my first egg. I bought them last Sunday. And yeah, the bag's almost gone.
Yeah, they
they're
go
so
quick.
Small. They've gotten smaller.
Yeah, I like the little small ones because
they're smaller than they used to be. The individual ones used to be like bigger than this.
Yeah, they're teeny tiny now. They're really quite small.
I'm making this sad, Joey.
The only other thing that I wrote down for consumption is I watched a movie upon Brandy Jo Planbeck's suggestion called Humanist Vampire Seeking Consenting Suicidal Person. And it was so fucking good.
Really?
What is loved it
quickly
so
what is
much. It's a French film for one thing. Okay. And it's like a jet black comedy horror. But basically the premise very quickly is just that it's a family
humanist vampire is looking for a
it's a family. They have a daughter who has never killed anybody yet. They've just been feeding her by giving her bags of blood that she drinks like her whole life. So she's 68, even though she looks like a teenager. She's 68 years old and she's never killed anybody yet. So the only way she could bring herself to do it is to find somebody that wants to die anyway or is, suicidal.
Right.
And so it's basically about her meeting this boy who gets picked on at school. And, so she's planning to kill him and consume him.
And then they fall in love.
It is so good. I mean, I cannot recommend it enough. It's just one of those movies.
Streaming?
I was just about to say it's streaming on AMC Plus or Shudder.
Okay.
If you have AMC Plus, you should have access. But if you have Shudder, you definitely have access. But it's just so worth watching. It's so much fun. And it just is a great and original story, which you don't get very often. So I loved it.
Cool.
Highly
I will
recommend
check it
it.
out.
And I'm
I
so
don't
thankful
know if
to
I have
BJP
AMC
for.
Plus anymore.
Oh no,
I don't know. That's not where From is at, right? No, From is on Stars.
I can't remember where I watched.
No,
that shit.
MGM. From is on MGM.
Oh,
There's
well, how did I watch
two-
From? Oh, I didn't watch From. Never mind. I was thinking of Evil.
Oh. Paramount Plus.
From's not
Give me
done
another
yet,
one.
right? The second half of the last season is coming or something, isn't it? From?
No, as far as I know, it's just the next season's coming. I haven't heard that it's ending.
Not done yet. Okay,
No, I haven't heard that it's ending.
Okay, yeah. So I'll be waiting on that one to watch once it's done. But that's it. That's all I got, baby. That's all that's been going on in my world.
That's it. Same.
Mm-hmm.
Same. Same old fool.
Same old fool.
All right, baby. Well, I love you.
Okay, baby. I love you too.
And I will talk to you soon.
Yes, you will. That's a promise.
Okay, bye-bye now.
Okay, dear. Bye-bye.
How many people cried? But it's too late to say you're sorry. How would I know? Why should I care? Please don't bother trying to find her. She's not there. Well, let me tell you about the way she looked, the way she acted, the color of her hair. Her voice was soft and cool,